road from here. And then they were blindsided in the third leg. Had to play the third and fourth playoff. There they come in the red and yellow. Superb athletes. And you'll notice Korea with just the 8 players. A lot of injuries. They've been ravaged by injury, unable to bring more than the 8 players. And that's going to make it extra hard for them as these 2 days unfold. China then will look out for their skipper, number 7, Chen Kai-yi, their highest point scorer in the series, 64 points. But number 6, Wang Wanyu, she's really exploded onto the scene. 12 tries in the series. And Yang Fei, number 4, she scored 10 tries. They've got such strike power. And some familiar names there to us. And look out for Lee Minji in number 10. And Kim Dong-lee. There's our referee from Japan, Mr. Nori Hashimoto. He will be in charge of this 4th game, the final game of the opening round here. China bidding to make the Olympics. They've not spared the resources, the preparation under coach Sean Horan, who took New Zealand Silver Ferns to silver at the 2016 Olympics in Rio. And they've just had a series on the HSBC Women's 7 Series, so they know all about the high stakes, high pressure rugby. Off we go then. Oh, look at that, straight into the hands of Yang Min. She nearly pulls off a sensational start there in the opening seconds. And Jed, it's going to be tough for Korea, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I just about felt sick in the stomach for them. Straight off the kickoff. Imagine if that had been the way they'd started their Olympic qualifying campaign, was watching the opening kickoff sail under the sticks. Unbelievable stuff from China.
There's the feed from Beck.
They're amped up, these Chinese girls. They're not going to give Korea an inch to breathe on this paddock today.
Yeah, they were gutted after that second leg loss in the final to Japan. They were ahead by 12 points. With just under a minute remaining, Japan scored 2 quick tries to go to extra time. And here is Yang Min to Yu Xiaoming, looking to get it wide through Wang Wanyu. She is an incredible player. And look at the pace coming on from Chen Kai-yi. Look at her go. And that's why she's their highest point scorer. 3rd highest in the series, behind Yumi Okuroda and Honoka Susumi. And she gets her first try of the tournament. There's Wang Wanyu. Get these 2 together. Goodness me. And you can throw Yang Fei into the mix as well. Look at the look on her face. I'm at home. This is my turf. That's a great first try.
Well, they're not fooling around, are they? China here to do the business this time. That was a tragedy to watch them drop the final in Huizhou. Kevin Horan's got the flower in his ear everywhere you go, I guess.
2 minutes in, 7 on the board. Korea on the ground. Kim Yuri. Lee Minji gets it out, and look at the pressure there, the line speed of Yang Fei. It's going to be hard to just make a couple of inches out of this Chinese defence. And scooped up off the ground is Gao. China, they've got numbers to burn China. It's a matter who's going to finish it. They've got the skills, they've got the handling ability, and it's going to be Chen Kai-yi going in for a second try there quickly. And just good awareness of the space, nothing fancy, and there is no better team than China at getting that ball wide to space.
Well, what wasn't seen just in the moments prior to the score was when they'd made the turnover, you could see 4 of the Chinese players just backing off as quickly as they can, almost in unison, reversing up to reload and find the space. It's beautifully drilled stuff. I mean, that is years and years of drilling, understanding the importance of it. Work started by the likes of Ben Gollings, carried on by Chad Shepherd, refined further by Horan, the coach today. They really have got the full kit in terms of tools to win a game, this Chinese team.
Chen with the restart. She's a couple of metres too long. That's something she'll work on. She's one of the masters at the restarts. Her and Okaroda from Japan. They put it on a sixpence most times. 3 minutes left in this first half. They're going to tap and go through Yang Fei Fei. There's runners coming from all over the place. Here's Wang Wanyu, gets it to Chen. Chen puts the fend on. Chen goes around the corner. And Chen Kai-yi is in for a first half hat-trick. We saw Chong Kai-yan do the same for Hong Kong in the previous game. And Chen, wow, she scored 6 tries in the opening leg of the series this year and then didn't score any for the rest of the tournament. Just stepped back and played playmaker. And she finishes there nicely. What a fend. 3 in this match. Look out, everybody. China are all business. And the kick is a little bit shonky, but it's gone the distance as we look again. Wang Wanyu, she could go herself as well. And Li Joyon goes a bit too high, and you've got to be better than that against Chen. Here she is with the ball again. She'll probably put the brakes on this one a little bit. Just give her runners a chance. There we go. Look, that's nice and high. That's going to fall about a metre too short. Wang Wanyu comes in. Absolutely creams her. A little early, though, says Hashimoto-san. It was Yang Min, sorry, with the early challenge there. Milliseconds in this one. She jumped into it. Just jumped into that one at the final moment there. There's nothing you can do about that. There's a bit of a grumble people have with the new laws, people jumping into the ball at the last moment. So they get a line out about 7 metres inside their own half. It's going to be Kim Dong Lee with the underarm throw. Good alertness from Yang at the front to shut that one down. And here we go again. It's going to be, no, straightening this time goes Yu Xiaoming, and she doesn't need Wang and Chen out wide. She says, that's enough for you, Chen Kai-yi. Straightens, heads for the posts, and picks up try number 4. Sean Horan's on his feet. First try of the tournament to you. Here we go again, Jed. Well, they just got threats everywhere, don't they, China? Such great athletes.
Yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches, really, China. And this Korean side really couldn't have picked a harder start to a qualifying tournament.
Yep.
Just a wall of red jerseys come up to meet them.
Yes, it's the top 2 seeds, seed 1 and seed 8, as Korea win a penalty, and after the hooter, they want to go all the way downfield. It's all about learning from these experiences for these Korean players. We saw them, as we see with most teams, come in at the bottom rung of the ladder, and it takes them a season or 2 to really build on their strengths and discover themselves. They didn't get that opportunity. They got relegated straight away after their first season, and now they decide to pop it out. They look down the field, it's too far to go. And it's half time here at the Guangzhou University Sports Centre. There's Chen Kai-yi, what a half for her. 28 points to nil at half-time. China lead the Koreans. Chen with 3 tries. There was her first one, just determination, running from 100 miles out there, straight under the posts. She was also the leading try scorer for China on the World Series. Here she goes, different angle of that try. Scored 11 tries on the World Series in 2019. Leading try scorer. Wasn't enough though, as we've seen in the men's and women's comp. The team that gets promoted to the World Series generally just lasts one season there before being relegated again. So Japan are back now on the World Series, and we'll be having a qualifying tournament early next year to decide who will come back onto the World Series in 2020. There is Chen in 7, Sean Horan, silver medalist with the Silver Ferns in Rio. And it just shows you the commitment by the Chinese Rugby Union to getting in the Olympics, bringing in the quality of coach that we see in Sean Horan. I've also seen teams like Thailand investing in coaches like Lottie Raikenbula as well. Hong Kong investing in their own coaches. They've been doing that for years. Makes all the difference. Thailand's a classic example of that. The improvements made with the same group of players over one season with a good coach.
That's been startling, isn't it? Absolutely astounding.
Sure has. As we get underway for the second half, taking it with the sun in their eyes, China, at their home tournament. Second home tournament of the season for them. Here goes Wang inside the Chen, and look at the straightening there from Gu Yao Yao, and she's going to canter in from 60. And it's only Nori Hashimoto within 50 metres of her. And we're seeing Wang Wanyu just been promoted to a bit of a playmaker role out wide. She hasn't had a crack herself yet, and she's put away 3 tries, I think that is now. Very talented player, Wang Wanyu, and she'll get a chance. She'll finish a few off her today by herself, I'm sure.
Great support play. And this player here, she is a real talent, to be honest. She can play in, she can play out. First receiver, off the back of the scrum, off the back of the ruck. Very, very talented, very skillful.
So that's another converted try. And, well, how did she take that on the full with no contest, Wang Wanyu? Just showing the skills that she's got. Here goes Gu, the try scorer. Here's Wang out wide and outside. I'm wrong, it's Yan. Oh, look at the work there, stepping off the left foot. And it's starting to blow out here as the Koreans tire just with the 8 players. There's Xu Xiaoyan, first try of the tournament. 6 tries in this game for China.
Look at the finish there. Just the stop go, and really the Koreans lacking the formation, holding some sort of pattern together, with the idea being really that it helps conserve the energy. If you're working together, you're spreading the load, you're spreading the commitment, and it makes it more important to hold that when you're sitting there watching with only one person on the bench. But it's hard though. It sounds a lot easier coming from the commentary box. Unfortunately, these Korean ladies have to live with it at the moment. China, as you can see, they've got something else totally different in mind.
Look at the chase there from China. Kim Yuri takes that 5 in and 5 out, and looks up. There's a couple of red jerseys. She gets clobbered in the face there. She sort of beat the first one and then wins a penalty. So she's done really well there under pressure. And she's just spitting out a bit of blood by the looks of it with the red headgear on. But they're under the pump here, and we only saw them with the one line out in the first half. They lost that one. They go for the underarm throw, which means it more often than not goes to the front, the very front, not to the jumper, and back in 9 will be the jumper here. Up she goes. She gets hold of it. Nicely done. It's been bobbled though by Kim Dong Lee. Now China, well, they probably want their defence to be tested. In comes the fend, but on her is Liu Xiaoqian, and they diffuse that one in the dead ball area. So Coach Horan probably would like to see the defensive structures get bent a bit, and they weren't really bent there. 42-0 with 3 minutes remaining. There's the skipper, Yan Mei Ling. I don't think she scored any tries in the series, but she is one of the most hard-working players. She's going to go over straight away from the base there. And she's stocky, she's strong, and she's alert. And she gets an easy 5-pointer there out of the scrum.
Well, she's a one-man front row, really. We saw in the Asia Rugby 7 series for women just how robust her play can be. There's an extra 2 points for your trouble as well. And pretty elusive, but also has that great short game. It's almost reminiscent of someone like Benny Elias, a rugby league player. The ability to set people up on the outside, robust enough to take the hits from the big ones. Strong enough to hand out a few hits herself. It's a pretty interesting mix that China can put on the field, but all of them have got just that little factor that makes them very, very, very deadly. Look at that tackle from it there.
And I think the tape around the ears, Jed, gives that Benny Elias look about it.
Possibly does.
Probably the only woman in the series to wear the tape around the ears.
We had the young lady earlier from the Philippines. With the one strip around the head.
It's Buck Shelford stuff, and China have got a player on the naughty chair. Liu Xiaoqian will take 2 minutes out here. She'll see out the game from the chair. So it's 7 against 6 for Korea. And that's nicely worked, keeping the ball free back. They're very deep down. They're making it easy for the Chinese defence just to get up and arc out on them and suffocate the move. There you see it again. Wang just tearing out of the line. They come around the corner and a bullet pass from Lim Jae Won. She gets it back on the receipt though. Coming in is Gu Yao Yao with the tackle. Holds onto it with a second attempt. Again, barreled is Lee Min Ji. Lim Jae Won. Wherever they look, there's a red shirt, one step ahead of them, and Yan Mei Ling couldn't quite bend down to get that one. There's a hamstring buster. She knew she was in for a second there if she could have just held that one. Well perceived by her, but they threw it so deep she couldn't catch it.
Yan, goodness gracious me. Only half a hand away from picking that up. 49 points to 0, Grant. Where did that all come from?
Yeah, it's to be expected, you might say, against these China heavyweights. They're all business at home, up against the minnows, Korea. And they have no interest in getting their first try of the weekend. So they have come out, China, of the blocks and shown everybody what they intend to do. Chen Kai-yi with 3 tries. They win here 49 points to 0 against Korea.
Well, the home side has flexed pretty severely or pretty seriously there. think everybody would have felt the chill go through them as they look at that final score. 49 points to 0. Perfect defensive record, and that's mainly because Korea never got a look in the door.
Chen Kai-yi, she's such an exciting player. Her and Yan Mei Ling, they're really in the mould of Chiharu Nakamura, Yumi Hirano for Japan, and there was the opening try of the second half. And they really have a handful of players that can just do 100 in about 10.5 seconds with the ball.
Four players beaten in the space of 20 minutes. Superb try. Beautifully fashioned. Look at this. Committed the first two. Thank you. And the fourth one, got a good close look at it. And their purpose is nice and clear, isn't it? China. They know they can beat these teams. They know they've got the better of these teams. They've done it in the past this season and the season before. There's no one here they don't know.
Okay, then that wraps up the opening round. We're going to be coming back here for the second round here with the kickoff at 4:54 local time. That'll be Singapore versus Philippines. Please come back then and join us.